This is the 2024 Acura Integra A-Spec Tech. Is it worth every penny? Hey everybody, it's Tom from Vehicle Visionary. I hope you're having a great day. Today I am at Orr Acura. We're going to go over this model and show you the ins and the outs to help you make a decision to whether or not it is worth every penny. Maybe you're on the fence and saying, I don't know if I want the Honda Civic or if I should go with the Integra. There are some things here on the Integra that you cannot currently get on the Civic, including a head-up display, among many other things. Don't forget about the Vehicle Visionary discount, only here at Orr Acura in Shreveport, Louisiana. Come into the dealership, mention that you watched my video on this vehicle or any other new vehicle in inventory, you automatically get $500 off. Let's see what we get for the price here. Starting out with the Jewel Eye LED headlights, a very nice look, unique, not something you're going to see on every single vehicle out there that competes with the Integra, that's for sure. LED fog lights down there on the lower portion of the bumper, that's going to be very nice to have that. The Acura logo right there in the center of the front of the grille right there, and our lower grille as well. How about our tire and wheel size? Let's see what we have here. 235 will be the width, a 40 series sidewall wrapped around the 18-inch wheels. There's your A-Spec logo right there. Now these are power adjustable but manually folding side view mirrors. They do have the turn signal indicators built in and they're heated. That's always a good thing. Blind spot information system built in right here. You do have a remote that is a proximity key. You have the walk-away feature, remote start. That's what this is right here. So everything that I think a lot of people want to see is going to be there. Now, one thing that I know some of you would like to see that is not going to be here or on the Civic, at least as of 2024, is a panoramic sunroof. You'll still go with that conventional style sunroof, but some people like it, some people don't. We'll just have to see what the future holds where that is concerned. The tail lights, really the same design and look to mimic the front headlights up there. Your Integra logo is going to be right here. And have that nice black spoiler to kind of break things up back here. And the hatchback style cargo area. So you really have a combination here of a sedan and a hatchback kind of in one with what we have. And as we work our way here to the rear, something that is very nice to see, especially on something that you can have some fun with, that has a sporty look and feel to it, dual exhaust. Having a single exhaust pipe back here just would not seem appropriate. Under the hood is the 1.5 liter direct injection turbocharged 4-cylinder. It makes 200 horsepower. The torque numbers come in at 192. It is made into a CVT. I want to come in and drive one of these before you make a decision on whether you like that or not. And let's talk about MPGs. We'll take a look at the window sticker right here. Here are your MPGs. 29 city, 36 highway, 32 combined, and 3.1 gallons of gas per every 100 miles driven. If you're curious to know, you have a 12.4 gallon gas tank. You do have capless fuel fill. Now let's go back to the window sticker here for those of you who want to know the price. Now there is your base price. However, you do have the addendum sticker over here. So I'm just going to show you real quick what all is here and what the price ultimately is when we add all of that here. Tell me what your thoughts are on that. One thing I will say that is definitely a home run. With this platinum white exterior, kind of plain, but people like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But I tell you what's anything but plain is this red interior. And we'll gain access to the rear cargo area. Now it's not power back here, but it is dampened, so very easy to deal with. 24.3 cubic feet of cargo capacity. And if you wonder what's the difference between that and the Civic hatchback, it's 24.5 cubic feet of cargo space. Now this model does not come with a spare tire for those who are interested. You will find the tire inflation kit there to help out in that situation. Just depends on what you're dealing with on how that's going to work. We'll have some cargo lighting back here and a little bit of space on the side, also a net right here to help keep things in place. And cargo capacity maximized looks like this. You can fold the rear seats down. The releases are on the top of the seats on the outside for each one, just for those of you who want to see what it looks like when everything is maximized. And let's take a look at what rear seat passengers are going to find. Space as far as the armrest goes, not too bad. It would be nice to have this area maybe flat like this because of how your arm your hand is sticking up at an angle. Maybe that's not too bad, I don't know. But that's what's there. A bottle holder more than a door bin is what I would call that, but it's here. Might as well show that to you, and here's how things look in the back seat with that nice red interior. Definitely eye-catching, that's a fact. And we'll hop inside here. We'll find the singular rear seat pocket, only on the passenger side, but not on the driver's side. No air conditioning vents in this rear area. I don't think it's going to be a big deal necessarily because it's a smaller interior, so not that difficult to control the climate basically, whether it's heat or cold or whatever the situation is. But what is back here is the USB options. 2 USB ports right there, and these seats, they don't really recline on their own. There is a little bit of recline built into them. You can't adjust it, but that's what's here. It does have a little bit. And then the fold-down armrest with the cup holders built in. And I told you earlier and showed you that we have a conventional size sunroof. You can tilt and slide that open. It also has the manual shade that can be put in place. And we'll take a look into the front seat. Now, a little bit more space on the armrest and definitely a larger door bin. More of a door bin than I would say you have with the rear seating area. All of the controls right here, you probably don't need to be told what those are. I think everybody knows. You will find seat memory here on the driver's side, not on the passenger side, but you will find adjustable seats, power adjustable seats for the driver and the passenger. Traction control on and off right there. You can drop the lever to adjust the tilt and telescopically adjustable steering wheel. And here's what happens when you get inside. I'll just let you watch and listen. That's actually quite a bit more than what you get in the Civic. So if you're looking for entry graphics and music and saying which one has the best, well, I would definitely have to say that it's the Integra over the Civic. For most people, probably not a big deal. You'll control the headlights and the fog lights right here, and also the turn signals. Make sure you learn how to do that. Some of you haven't learned yet because I've driven around you and I know. Right here, we'll control the windshield wipers and a very nice look with the instrument cluster. It has a nice modern look and feel to it. Not a lot to really talk about there, but you can definitely go through and get a lot of information. You can go through and make changes to a few different things and customize the display if you want to, in fact. So you can do hide and view, audio, depending on what you want to do, audio and clock. You can go in and do quite a bit here, actually. So depending on what you're wanting to do or needing to know about, it's here. Things you can turn on and manage. Pretty easy to deal with. And you will also find the touch screen right in here. Now this looks like the same touch screen out of the Honda Civic, but it has different graphics. So a little bit of a different look and feel here as far as that goes. Still just as easy to use. You even have a compass built in if you're directionally challenged or just not sure where you are. You know, we go out of town, a lot of us are more directionally challenged than others. Even myself, I have a good sense of direction when I'm used to the area, but sometimes it's a little more challenging outside of that. Here are the different areas of the vehicle that you can manage, and we'll go back out of that. This system is so easy to use. You really don't need me to tell you much about it. But you can use your hunt and peck method if you need to figure that out. We'll go into reverse. You do have the multiple views with the rear camera. How many of you would like to see some additional camera options available for the Integra? Maybe a front camera, maybe side view cameras that are part of your side view mirrors. There's a lot of potentials here. Now you can wirelessly pair your smartphone. You have Apple CarPlay and Android Auto compatibility. So all of that is here. Dual zone climate control, only heated seats. I'd really like to see ventilated seats, but that's for those of us who live in a fairly warm climate pretty much year-round, sometimes a lot worse than others in Northwest Louisiana. And the wireless charging pad is here, as well as a couple more USB options and a 12-volt power outlet right there. So you do have quite a bit going in the way of connectivity we'll also find our shifter right here, just a conventional style shifter, always a good thing. If you want to go into sport mode, see the S down there? I don't know how well we can see it. Let's get the glare off of there so you can. So you have drive and you have sport right here. And we also have the ability to go through and make changes to the driving modes. There's sport mode, there's normal mode. You'll also have comfort, and we'll work our way back up. We also have individual, and by the way, all I did for that, there's individual, the button right there, pretty easy to figure out. You bring that back up just so I can show you what you can do here. Let's customize that. So what it comes down to is you can have the engine set in sport, but if you wanted the steering to be normal, sport, or comfort, well, there are your options. Same thing with suspension, and then we'll also be able to turn our idle stop on or off right here. That's something that's good. And that's not the only place where you can do that. If you want to deal with that, if you need to turn that on or turn that off, well, you can do that as well. In fact, there is our sport look with the gauges, or we can go to normal. Change that. Not a lot of changes taking place where that is concerned, but I do have to say, I really like that blue because it really stands out. And you can also turn the auto stop start feature off or back on if you want to right here. There's your power parking brake and your brake hold mode. Your cup holders. I wouldn't really call the lid on the center console an armrest. It's just not high enough for that, but you do have it, and there is quite a bit of space within that area. We will also find the sunglass holder up here and our control right here for managing the position of the sunroof, and you should be able to see what else is there as well. Some of those options. We have a frameless mirror. Just a real clean look throughout the interior. Personally, I have to really say I like the red interior. What is your preference? I don't know how well the camera's picking it up, trying to give you a good look at that head-up display that is there. But it is there, it is nice and bright, and that is a good thing. And also, there is what happens when you're about to exit your Integra. And we'll get out on the road for our test drive here with this Integra. I'll tell you what, it's a fun car to drive. If you're having a bad day and you need a spirited drive, just put it in sport mode. I know you just had the CVT in this case, but can you imagine having a 6-speed manual to play with? That would really be a good way to blow off some steam if you're having a rough day. But even with this CVT, when you go into sport mode, it really livens this car up. I'm not going to make it sound like it's some kind of a neck-snapping performance type experience, but when you step on the gas pedal, it does get up and go in a very reasonable way. I'd call it respectable. For 200 horsepower, it's not bad. So a lot of fun to drive. The other thing that makes it so fun to drive, well, if you haven't driven one yet, you wouldn't know, but if you have, you know that the handling is superb. It really stays stuck to the pavement. It just feels as if it's sucking itself down to the ground. Takes the corners really well, good tight steering, very responsive. That's something I really like. It makes it feel, the overall driving experience makes this Integra feel like it has more than 200 horsepower. And what about everything else? What about ride quality? I know a lot of people ask about that and say, well, if it handles that well, it must not ride very well. Well, it definitely doesn't have a Cadillac butter smooth, smoother than my tongue, ride quality. But it also isn't going to beat you to death. I think it's a very comfortable ride quality for what it is. Hard to say what it would be like to sit in these seats for a long period of time, but out on the track, they do seem to be decently bolstered. I think I would be okay out there if I was taking the turns at a higher rate of speed. Overall, definitely fun in the driving experience. And practical use is also there because you have plenty of cargo capacity back there. A great daily driver, that's for sure. Plenty of cargo capacity and plenty of room here in the interior. It's actually quite roomy, especially here in the front seat. The back seat isn't too bad. There's really a lot here that works very well. You've got your infotainment screen that is so easy to use. I did pair my smartphone, and you might say, well, why didn't you show us that, Tom? The screen walks you through it. It's really easy. somebody who's never had this kind of technology in their vehicle could do it. All you have to do is just follow the prompts on the screen and you're good to go. It's just that simple. Use what I call the hunt and peck method to learn things and you're going to be in good shape. So a very well-rounded vehicle for not necessarily breaking the bank in this day and age, because so many vehicles are so expensive. I know these start in the high 30 range, a little bit above the mid 30s, but that's not terrible in this day and age. Obviously, you can go as far as you want to with that. You can go all the way up to the Type S, and then you're going to be spending a little more money, but you definitely would have a lot more fun. So tell me what you think down in the comments section. Is the 2024 Acura Integra A-Spec Tech worth every penny? I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. If you plan to buy an Integra for 2024, what trim level are you going for? Tell me about how you want to spec that out. I'm always curious to know. I do want to say a special thanks to my friends here at Orr Acura for loaning me this model for the day, and a special thanks to each and every one of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch and give me the opportunity to give you a vision for your next vehicle. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. That helps out a lot. If you haven't subscribed just yet, please consider doing so. That way you don't miss any future videos. And if you would like to learn about additional vehicles you may wish to consider purchasing, check out the video that's on the screen right now, and I will see you there.